do you have any idea about what they told to your son at San Diego Comicon?
Well, I think word has gotten out there that
That kinds of movies out.
that movies something's happening. Yeah. But yeah, I try to get secrets. Let me tell you something. This too. My son and I had an amazing amount of trust until Captain America: Winter Soldier came out. He trusted me with his life, But now it's like, and I'll tell you this story. We were at the red carpet. We did the whole thing, and we're watching the movie in the screening. And I know he knows nothing of what's going on. And then when I go Hail Hydra, when Senator Stern says Hail Hydra, he grabs me like this, and he goes, "I will never trust you." And he turned and like this, watch the rest of the movie like this.
How old is your son?
He's 10,
There you go.
going on 40. Yeah. And
You got your harshest critic at home.
Yeah, so there's a lot, so now he's got reason to not tell me anything, He'll hold on to that, secret. Oh no, he hears Hail Hydra. Hail Hydra, Hail Hydra. It's the biggest secret I was never let in on.
Próxima pregunta.
Hey, I just wanted to ask, will you be returning for Captain America 3?
I don't know right now. I think I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. I think they're still hammering out. I don't know. I'm looking over my agent I think they're still working. I think Stephen McFeely is working on the script, and Christopher. I think the guys who wrote the first one and the second one are back again. So it's good. So you're gonna have a consistent quality. They're on it right now, and I hate keeping secrets. But I don't know. The answer is I don't know. That's the best answer.
But you love dangling them in front of them.
I send out my emails to them too. I'm like, hey, so what's going on with this new script you're writing?
Which storyline from Sidwell would you like to sort of play out on screen?
I'd like to be the Secret Warriors, Howling Commandos. I think they're gearing up maybe to do the Fury movie. And I think that's the best way to tie it all up together. And I think if you do like a Howling Commandos, Secret Warriors way to do it, which is like the way the comic is now, or I think that would be the best storyline to do. I think that would be the smartest storyline to do too.
Cool.
Yeah.
One last thing.
Yes.
Hail Hydra!
There we go.
How do you feel of the unfortunate departure of Edgar Wright's in Ant-Man?
You know what? It really threw me. That really threw me. I read because he had brought that script. He had brought he wrote that script on spec, which means he just did it on his own. And this is after Hot Fuzz and after everything. I mean, he was after Scott Pilgrim. He actively went to Marvel and said, "Hey, I think the next movie that you should do is Ant-Man. Here's a script." Which is a huge thing a lot of directors, don't do. It's a little shocking to me. I think, some people, when you deal with Marvel, you deal with Marvel now and Disney. It's a very huge sort of entity that you work with, and I think sometimes maybe, the only thing that I can think of is the control. Maybe he wouldn't have had as much control of it as possible, but that's because Marvel has their hand in everything. So that's the only thing. But I was shocked because I knew that this project was near and dear to his heart. So I can only imagine, unless I hope it's nothing family related or anything like that. So but yeah, it's a little weird, and we're gonna roll with it. Hopefully, Marvel will hire a great director to direct it, so you never have to worry about that.
All right, thank you.
Próxima pregunta.
Hi, I was actually personally a little curious because I know you repeated it that everything's connected with the shorts and with the movies. At what point did you know that in this Marvel Cinematic Universe was going to be a Hydra agent?
I found out after. Did you see Item 47? It's a short.
I haven't yet, but I know.
It's on the. I think it's on the Blu-ray for Avengers, and we that was already the third or fourth short one, or the third one. And when we were doing press for that at San Diego Comicon, Disney did a huge rollout for it, and that's when I kind of got an inkling, because I would talk to the producers and stuff. So they were like, "Max, so what are you doing, next April?" And I was like, I don't know, what am I doing next April? And they were like, well, you know, there may or may not be this big thing for you in Captain America where a lot gets revealed. And that's how they ended the conversation, and I freaked out. Like, what are you talking? You can't start a conversation like that. And then just like be like, oh yeah, okay, so we'll talk to you later about it. You know? Like, what? And then they were like, it's something big, and it may or may not be the end of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then when they said that, I was like, wow, okay. It sucks because I'm with S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, but they were a little cryptic about it, but they were like, it'll blow people's minds. It'll completely redefine the universe. And they were that's when I kind of knew that maybe something was going on. And then I found out, you know, as soon as I got that script, they would be like, hey, did you read that script? Hey, did you read that script? And I was like, I haven't gotten the script yet, man. Like, give me the script. And as soon as I did it, they were like, I think the Russos were in the other room.
The directors.
The directors were in the other room, and the door was closed, and I'm sitting there, and there's like the assistant, the secretaries, people are there, and I'm sitting there reading the script outside their office, and they pop out the bar. Are you done yet? He's like, no, I'm not done. Close the door. Boom. And then I was like, holy shit. And then they opened the door, and we're like, I'm like this, I'm not done yet. There's more. I have to read more. And then, you know, by the first, 15, 20 minutes, I knew exactly where they were going, or what was supposed to happen. And then I knew, it's, people are like, oh, how do you feel about it? I really like that they did this with Sitwell. To me, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting choice. Sometimes those hard choices are the ones, you need to do it, because I think what it did is destroy that bubble that Captain America was in, and it made him see the world in a dirty way. Like, it's not just like, the right, hey, we're gonna do. It's like everyone's got their hand in something, and it's not as squeaky clean as you think it should be. So I think they did a great job, and I accepted reluctantly, especially my accountant. My accountant was like, oh, so you're not going to be in these movies anymore? It sucks for you, man. But no, I'm very, very happy. And I kind of got the inkling around that time when, it's getting going.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, what can you tell us about the new show, Agent Carter?
Well, Agent Carter, I don't know if you guys have seen the short, the Agent Carter short. It's basically, Peggy Carter is, she's one of the founding members of S.H.I.E.L.D. You find out that she's one of the founding members of S.H.I.E.L.D. And what's great about it is it's kind of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. meets Mad Men. In the way that Mad Men with the women, like how women were secretaries and they answered the phone, and it's women dealing with discrimination, and she's got to prove herself that she's like a top level agent, and there's a reason why she was asked to be there. And I think it's kind of kick-ass. There's like this, this female hero, this heroine out there, because there's not really a lot of shows. I think the last kind of show that was like that was Alias, where there was this girl who's out there like doing things and kicking butt, and it's nice to have to know that you have that again. But I'm excited about that show. She's really nice too. Ailey Atwell's very nice and very humbled by this whole experience.
And one last thing, can we see a connection between Hydra and the Infinity Gems or the Gauntlet?
You know what?
You don't play poker, do you? It's your town.
Yes, there's a connection. Everything in the Marvel Universe is connected. Like every little thing, and they'll make reference to something else. I think I make reference to like Stephen Strange or something. Mm-hmm. We did many versions of that, by the way. When I tell you many versions, like I said, we watch everybody, Bruce Banner, Hank Pym. They were like, say Hank Pym, and then they like say like Amadeus Cho. Like I had to say like all these different names for them to, because they, like I said, they like options. So they like to connect everything. So everything is going to be connected. I think everyone's going to be. These guys think about like movies like, and the way we think about like how we're going to eat dinner later. They're thinking about movies like 15 years from now. They're that far ahead. They have the list of what they're going to get to get you to that point, and they know along the way what words, what names to drop. They're taking it over, brother. Thank you.